Hey, thank you for joining me for another episode of Addicted to Gear. I hope you guys are all doing excellent today. My name is Tony. Today we're talking about improving your guitar playing, specifically if you're trying to learn your chords, your scales, trying to memorize patterns and whatnot, whether you're a beginner player, an intermediate player, or if you've been playing for a while and you've just hit the wall. I know how that feels. And today we're going to be talking about a specific product that can help you. This is what we're talking about today. This is a product brought to you by a company called Zealot. I like to say frets a lot, but I think officially it's called Zealot. And in this box is a system designed to help you learn how to play your guitar. And it's really innovative, and I haven't seen anything like this before, and it's a great idea. Basically, what this system is a series of LED lights that fit on your fretboard that you can install very, very easily, and that you can plug into your transmitter, which will actually transmit back to your phone, where you can download free apps that will play and light up scale patterns and chord patterns on your guitar for you to follow. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. My son is learning how to play guitar, and he's always asking me to show him how to, play certain things and chords and whatnot. And I thought this would be a really excellent tool to help him, advance his playing, even when I'm not around. So I really want to review this for everyone out there that's struggling. And I'm curious to see just how easy this thing will go on the guitar, how much effort it would take and how much time it would take to install, and then how well it works. So I want to do that with you. I haven't opened the box yet. I'm really excited. I'm hoping that the instructions are pretty clear and it's a pretty simple process. So I want to get that done here with you. And this is the guitar that I've decided to use as a donor guitar. I haven't actually talked about this guitar yet. This is a new build that I put together not long ago, but I'm sacrificing this guitar for the Zealot, and hopefully it'll work really nice and I can keep it on here for a while until, I get better at playing, or my son gets better at playing. So without further ado, let's unpackage this thing and start the install, see what the instructions say and what we need to do, and hopefully we can get it done in a couple of minutes. So let's get started. All right, so we're ready to start the installation. I got my guitar set up here on my makeshift desk, and I have the Zealot system here. We're gonna open it up and see what's in the box. I love opening boxes because it reminds me of Christmas, And I gotta say, this box is really nicely designed. It reminds me of an Apple product. Super nice packaging here. I'll put that over here. And let's open it up. Okay, yeah, I think it just opens this way. All right. So let's just put this out of the way for now. All right, installation quick reference guides. I love quick references because I don't have any patience. There's also access to video instructions on their website here. It says if you visit fretzealot.com/installation. So let's see what it says. It says, number 1, loosen the strings or remove the strings along your fretboard of your guitar. Number 2, clean the fretboard. My fretboard is already clean because I'm pretty anal about that, so I don't have to worry about that. But it says clear fretboard surface and guitar neck of all debris, oil, residue, or any other material that might prevent Zealot from sticking properly. Number 3, fit your Zealot. Align the Zealot along the fretboard to test the fitting and determine the best fit according to your guitar's specific scale length. Ensure that each fret has a Zealot LED strip above it. Now, this system here is specifically for a scale length, and it's written on the box here. The scale length is specifically 25.5. So that's for a Strat. Now, if you have a different type of guitar like a Les Paul, it would be a different scale length. So when you order them, you got to make sure that you're ordering for the right scale length that you need. All right, so then it says for step number 4, it says remove the protective tape from only the first 2 LED strips. Attach the second LED strip just above the first fret of the fretboard. Line up the first LED of the strip with where the low E string will go. So let's just take this out here and let's see how this would work. Let's do a dry run here. So this is basically the system. It's a bunch of LED lights on I guess a Lexan, some kind of a plastic strip. It feels a little rubbery. And in the back of this, you have some removable sticky tape that you would have to slide into your fretboard here. And I see why you have to, why they recommend you to remove the frets, because when you're sliding this in, if the sticky tape is removed, it makes it kind of difficult to slide it in without it sticking to the fretboard where it's not supposed to. So I'm just going to align it to see, just do a dry run and see what this gives if we slide it under here to see how it would fit. And I'm kind of curious to see how it would work if you have low action on your guitar, because I tend to like my action pretty low. Yeah, I think this would be much easier to do if you remove your strings, but I really don't want to do that. But let's see what we can do. Let's see how delicately we can put this in. So technically, this thing would have to go like that. The first two would line up like this. Now here's the problem. You see, my guitar has locking tuners, so I can loosen the strings, but I can't really loosen them all that much. And what ends up happening is when you loosen the strings a few times with locking tuners, they tend to snap at the tuner. So I don't really want to do that, but I want to make sure I install it properly here. And then aligning. So the next step says attach the first LED strip one at a time. Attach the remaining LED strips down the fretboard of the guitar. Do not push down the neck yet. Once all the strips are applied behind the spine of the fret Zealot, the part that connects all the LED strips over the side of the neck, clip the battery pack to the headstock of your guitar and connect the LED strips of the fret Zealot to it, and you're ready to sync up to the app. And I think that's it. Before we install it. I believe there's a battery in here already. Let's see. Yep, there's a battery because it lights up. So let's connect this guy and see if it works. Plug that guy here. Plug the end of it there. Let's turn it on. Wow, look at that. Everything lights up like a Christmas tree. Check it out. Pretty cool. I like it already. All right, so I'm back. As you can see, I got a little carried away and I actually started to install the system on the fretboard here. And I didn't want to remove the strings from my guitar, so I just loosened it up and I slid in a little marker under here so I can lift off the strings. And because I'm installing it with some strings already on the guitar, I felt that having some little tweezers to help me get the system underneath the strings and in between the frets helped me a little bit here. So the next step would be to take the side of the system here and just bend it over and stick it to the fretboard. I took a little bit of extra time to make sure that the ends on this side didn't stick out, because I didn't want to rub up against the system with my fretting hand. So I just stopped short a little bit and I'm just pressing down the edge of the fret Zealot here, fret Zealot, so that I can make sure that there's nothing sticking up and stopping the strings from vibrating. And you will obviously feel something on the top side here if you hang your thumb over your fretboard when you're playing, but it shouldn't be too uncomfortable. You know, you can rub your thumb on it, but it shouldn't be too bad because it's just on the top edge here. It also doesn't hide the markers because they have markers on the side of the system here so that you can still see where the markers should be, even though they cover up the side. So you can see here, it's a good idea. And because it's like a rubbery type of system, it sticks pretty well, and it basically conforms to the fretboard quite nicely. And I basically press down the system in between the LEDs just to make sure that the tape is sticking properly and I don't have any high spots. And I think after the tape is activated and it sticks down properly, it should move, hopefully. It's a little tricky, I have to say. It's, you know, the first time I do this, so I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing here. We can always readjust if we need to. I'll tune it up to pitch later. I'm just gonna get it. Just want to make sure that I can see that there's nothing touching from the get-go here. Okay, everything's really loose now on my string, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much. So the next step is just to make sure everything's still working after I did that. So let me just plug in the system and turn it on again. Everything's still lighting up. Perfect. Nice rainbow colors here that you can see. So I'll turn that off. So what they say in the video is that the system, this box basically that you have here, this is, I guess, the transmitter, has to be installed and clipped on to the headstock with this, which is basically kind of like a capo. I really like the name of this company. I know I'm mispronouncing it because everybody pronounces it different, but it's Fret Zealot. Fret Zealot. Pretty cool. All right, so all right, now that I have it installed this way, I think the cord will be out of my way a little bit more. Let's see here. As long as it reaches and it doesn't stretch everything. So it's basically, can you see that? I'm taking the wire and I'm putting the wire on the other side so that it stays out of the way and I can actually fret a little easier. You can probably take this box and with a little double-sided tape stick it to the back of your headstock if you wanted to. But I don't know if that's recommended or not by the company. So follow the instructions just to be on the safe side. All right. Good. So this, I assume, is the charging cable. Let's have a look at that just to make sure that's what it is, and indeed it is. Little USB cable, so we don't need that right now because the unit's already charged up. Great, so now we have to download the app. View in App Store. Yes. All right, here's the Fret Zealot. So there's an update available because I downloaded the app earlier, so let's just download the latest version. We make sure everything is good. So it says, no Fret Zealot found. Please power on your device. Yeah, the instructions did say to do that. All right, it's powered on. Great. Scan. Something's happening. Oh, it's uploading. Okay, so it's got to upload something. Your Fret Zealot is being upgraded. Please do not power off or navigate away from this page. Download complete. Awesome. Okay, now it says device disconnected, so I guess I have to try it again. Oh, check this out. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I should turn off the lights. Just do this in the dark. All right, so the menu says play, learn, or fun. Now, my guitar is not tuned up, so let me tune it up and let's play some stuff or learn some stuff and see how that works. All right, stay tuned. So you can have a lot of fun with this system. I mean, I'm just randomly showing you some stuff right now because there's a lot of stuff in there and I don't really know how to use it all that well myself, but I can already see that, you know, there's chords, there's lessons, there's, you know, individual notes. You could play songs that you like, you know, tabs, and teach yourself the songs. You could slow them down. You can do, and apparently this software is also compatible with other software that you can get. There's other apps available as well that you can use it with. So I'm amazed. I'm amazed that you can do all this stuff and it can be this easy to actually learn how to play. And I gotta just shut off the lights here for a second and show you this in the dark because I just have to do it. It's pretty cool. Hold on a second. I mean, they're plenty bright. So if you're playing in your room and you have a dim lighting, that won't be a challenge at all. You have, you can even light up stuff here. It's so bright. So you can impress your friends, especially if you're playing any kind of Kiss concerts or anything like that. This would come in quite handy. You know, look at this. You can, could you imagine yourself playing some wicked leads and just lighting things up? This is basically a la Steve Vai. I know Steve Vai loves to do this kind of stuff with his guitar as well. So that's pretty cool. So let me just go back to a chord so you can see the chords a little better here. So there you go. That's a C major chord lit up. Not that you're gonna have an easy time to see it, but C sharp major, D major, D sharp major, E major. That's in the first position. We can move it down to the second. We can move it down again to the third or fourth. These are different voicings, by the way. Look at that. These are all E major voicings that we have here. So it's pretty cool. Let me just turn on the lights again. If we get to the serious stuff right now, so from the app, we have some things here where we can choose play, learn, or fun. If I go into play, we have songs that we could learn, tuner, there's all kinds of pretty nifty accessories that we have here. So if I want to dial up a song, let's say I want to play an AC/DC song, like AC/DC, there's a whole bunch of songs that you can scroll through here, and I can pick something. Let's say we want to learn how to play Thunderstruck, right? The intro of Thunderstruck is always pretty cool. And that's pretty fast. So if I pull that up, you see tablature on the phone, and you can actually choose normal playback. You can slow it down. So I'm going to choose normal playback, and I'm just going to hit play, and I'm going to show you what lights up on my, can you see that? Now that's pretty fast, and anyone trying to learn, let me just turn this off. Anybody trying to learn the song that fast is going to have a challenge. So you can actually slow it down. So I'm just going to bring it back to the front, to the beginning, and I'm going to slow it down to half. And that's a lot slower, as you can see. Watch. See that? Pretty cool. So you can follow along with the tune as it plays, and you can see the tab scrolling at the same time. And there's also AI mode, which means that it'll listen for what you play, and when you play the note, it'll advance to the next note. And that's pretty amazing. I think that's really cool. So there's a whole bunch of songs that you can choose to learn. I just picked one randomly there. Now let's say you want to go into learning how to play chords, for example, or notes and scales. So let's go to notes and scales here. So if I want to learn where all of the, let's say the G's are. So then we have And you have to get used to the system a little bit, because at first it's not really obvious where you're pressing, right? This is, again, that's not a G. That's the G. That's an open fret, right? So you have to get used to that concept. So once you get used to that, that's fine. So this will be excellent for my son who's trying to learn all the notes on the fretboard. So again, open. That's pretty cool. And then you have, now that's if you want to learn how to play the notes on your fretboard, but what if you want to learn how to play the scales? So if I want to learn to play a major C major pentatonic, I just go in and there you have the C major pentatonic scale all lit up on the fretboard. If I want to go into a C harmonic minor, that would be the C harmonic minor on the fretboard. Pretty amazing, I think. So let's say I want to go into a pentatonic, a minor pentatonic. That's what this would be. The blues scale. That's what this would be. Pretty amazing, if you ask me. Then you can also choose whether you want the scale mode to be in horizontal mode, vertical mode, or everything. So you have a choice there. Then you could also just scroll up and down to select what you need. So that's pretty cool when you're trying to learn notes and scales. Now let's say we want to learn some chords. Go into the chords section here. And right now I have a C major lit up here. So C major, that's a note that everybody learns from the very early on. But it just shows you where to put your fingers. And then the white lights show you the open strings. So there you go, guys. The Fret Zealot system has a lot to offer anyone who's trying to speed up the learning process and trying to memorize all those chords, the notes on the fretboard, the scales. There's thousands of chords and scales in just this app alone. And apparently this app, this system is compatible with some other apps as well. So you definitely won't run out of learning material. And sure, it's pretty cool to have your fretboard light up like this. And, you know, could you imagine how fun it is to be playing some leads around the Christmas tree this year and your fretboard is in sync with the tree? You know, of course, I'm just kidding. I know this is a serious tool and it's definitely designed to help people learn. And but who doesn't like these freaky lights lighting up all over the place? Personally, I think it's a great tool. I like it a lot. I think the app is well made. The system is a little delicate to install. You have to be careful. You have to take your time. You have to make sure that you're willing to install this on a guitar where it'll stay for well, permanently, because it's not made to be easily removed from the guitar. So you have to keep that in mind, because if you want to take the guitar to a gig and you don't want to have the system on it, you can't just rip it off and install it again, because the glue, the adhesive won't last. The other thing is that the electronics are electronics, and although they're well made, they're still very delicate. So I find that the pack for the battery and the transmitter is a little bit bulky. I would have loved to see something a little bit more discreet. I mean, I also have a tuner on here, so I'm going to be fair and just show exactly what it looks like with only the system on it. There it is. So it's not as discreet as it could be. You can actually probably tape the transmitter to the back of the headstock with some double-sided tape if you're willing to do that. But you know, I understand that a battery is a battery. It needs to be powered up somehow. So that's one of the little drawbacks that I feel with the system. And you have to be careful with it because it is fragile. So when you're plugging it in and unplugging it, this is an electronic connection, right? You don't want your kids to be abusing it. You want to take care and use it delicately, and it should last a long time and provide hours of good education and entertainment as well. So overall, I'm quite impressed with the technology with the Fret Zealot. It's the first time I used a system like this or any system like this. So there's a lot for me to learn, and I'm going to experiment with the app a little bit more, and I'll probably eventually do a follow-up video once I have the opportunity to experiment with it a little bit. But I can tell you, I'm already blown away by the fact that you can actually play songs and, you know, follow the tab on your phone as well as the lights on your fretboard. And not only that, you can also slow it down, which is amazing. So I was playing with Dream On from Aerosmith earlier, the intro to that. I've always wanted to learn it. It's a little bit complicated and tricky to learn. So I pulled that up and it was spot on. The tab was correct and I was able to slow it down. So that's something that my son will for sure enjoy learning how to play. It's a classic song. And there's a whole bunch more in there as well. So I highly recommend anybody that's interested in learning to pick up the system and to experiment with it, because there's a lot of goodies in there that you can use, and you'll be playing in no time, and you'll get better in no time. So it'll be more reason for you to keep playing. I want you to check out the Fret Zealot system if you're interested. I'll put the link down below to the website where you can get it. In the meantime, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do, because your subscriptions are why I do this. I'm Tony, and I hope you're going to have an awesome day. See you soon.